Stop following outdated dating advice. Most men are using their dad's or even grandpa's strategies to attract women and try to get into relationships. But everything has changed. The dating market has changed. The women expectations have changed. The social landscape. All these things have changed. And you are literally running a 50-year-old strategy wondering why things are not working. It's like operating a Windows 95 program in today's AI superintelligence era. You gotta update your strategies, you gotta evolve. So, in this video, I will expose the 4 outdated strategies that most men are still using. The first outdated strategy is the passive attraction strategy. This is where guys say things like, oh, it will just happen. At some point, everyone meets someone. So you've all heard these quotes. And yes, before it used to work. Why? Well, before people lived in the same city for their entire lives. People had the same jobs for 30 years. You had the same friends. And things could just happen. Things could just naturally evolve. Because if you're in the same place, same context, same environment, you don't need to do anything particular because things could just luckily happen. You put 20 people in the room for 50 years, and yes, somehow they'll start dating each other. But things have changed dramatically. Now, you have a massive global world. People travel all the time. People change jobs frequently. Back in the day, it would be normal that you'd have 30 years in one job. Now you have 1 year, 2 years, and then you go to the next one. You go to the next one. You're not going to be with the same people for 30 years. You're going to switch quite frequently. People, and especially women, they have a lot more options because of it. You change environments frequently. You travel. You go live in a different place. You go in a different environment. You go in a different job. You get more options. So things don't just happen. They don't just happen. And this is why, as a consequence, many guys are alone and many guys have no sexual partners whatsoever. Maybe your dad or grandpa, they didn't have to do anything particular. They just kind of met your mom or your grandma. But you, my friend, you have to do something because you cannot just be like your dad and grandpa expecting things to happen. They won't. So the new rule, instead of just waiting for things to happen, it will just happen. No. I have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. You have to take things into your own hands and make things happen. So let go of this passive attraction strategy because it's simply not working anymore. The second strategy that is outdated is what I call the grandpa checklist strategy. It's basically the belief that you just have to collect certain things in life and you will just be a man that women want. So just get an education, get a degree, get a job, get a car, start playing a guitar. So collect these mini checklists, the mini achievements, and then women will want to date you. And that's how it used to be, right? You see all these aristocratic movies and even your grandma saying like, oh, what a fine young man John is. What a fine young man he is. Great car, knows how to play a guitar, knows how to dance. All the ladies will want to date him. And guys still carry this nowadays. Now, why did this work before? Well, before, women depended on men economically. You were literally a provider. They had no way to earn money on themselves. So they needed a provider. They needed safety. They weren't earning by themselves. So if you were a guy that had a nice house, nice car, you could take care of her, well, that's all she really needed. Her needs were very basic. But, oh man, things have changed dramatically. If you haven't been living under a rock, and if you're living in the first world society, the things have changed dramatically. Now, women, they actually have more university degrees than men. They earn good money themselves. A lot of times they earn more than you're going to earn. A lot of the girls that I date, lawyers, working in finance, they earn pretty good salaries, so they for sure don't need me to take care of them. Their needs have evolved. They don't just need money anymore. So what they want now is they want emotional connection. Actually, to be connected with the guy. They want a guy with social intelligence. That's why a lot of times you see women saying, this guy is just dumb. I'm so bored by this guy. He's so dumb. I don't want to date him. They need a guy that they can feel chemistry with, that knows how to create the atmosphere for great chemistry. If a woman doesn't feel chemistry with you, and if you have a nice job, a nice house, most women in the first world countries will not continue to date you because that's not what they need. They can pay for their own bills, they can pay for their own phone, they can buy their own food. They want real chemistry. And ultimately, masculine polarity. What they truly want is a guy to be a man, not in the man sense that he's going to pay for everything, but just a guy that is confident and knows how to lead and really can make her feel like a woman. So you got to evolve with these needs. And this is why money is not enough. It's simply not enough. And you have a lot of these guys saying like, look, I worked for 20 or 30 years. I did everything that I needed to do. I went and got a good job, got a mortgage, bought a house, I have a dog. And still, women are not dating me. And especially the ones that I want to date, women are not dating me. Well, this is why, my man. Their needs have evolved. So you got to evolve with them. And because of that, the new rule that you have to apply, social skills, is more important than the checklist. Drop your grandpa's checklist. Yes, your grandma might think you're a fine young man, but all those women out there, they don't give a crap about all this checklist, about all your checklist. And so the old strategy that doesn't work anymore, early commitment strategy. You've all heard the saying, lock her down, man. Put a ring on her finger. Lock her down. Show her you're serious. Don't play around. She'll go away. Show her you're serious. Now, why did this work before? Well, before, women had kids very early, right? They were having kids at 20, 21, even sometimes earlier. If you're a guy my age and in your 30s, then most likely your parents had you when you were 25, 27, 28, right? They had kids pretty early. Nowadays, this has changed. And they treated dating as a job interview. Literally, back in the day, it was not a process. It was not a fun experience. It was literally, okay, so you want kids? Yes. You got a house? Yes. Okay, well, I guess we kind of like each other. And this is why a lot of the old marriages, they evaporated because they had no emotional chemistry. It was literally just an arrangement for them to do a project, which was you and your brothers and sisters. And this is how it was treated, and that's how it was in the past. But things have changed dramatically. Now, women want to have fun sexual experiences, especially after their first big breakup. A lot of women, they've been in a big relationship for 5-6 years. They come out of it because they got into that relationship when they were 16, 17, and they come out of it 23, 24, and they feel like that they missed out. They just want to have cool experiences before they go and settle down. That's why you also have the rise of different fertility clinics, because people and women are having kids later. It's also way more expensive now to live, so you got to account for that as well. And also a lot of women, they even start questioning if they want to have kids. It's not a default anymore. A lot of women that I met, they actually think, like, most likely I will have kids, but I'm not sure yet. Back in the day, it would be crazy for you to even question whether or not you want to have kids. Also, marriage has kind of lost the importance. It used to be super important back in the day. You had to sign the paper and it was a whole big thing. Nowadays, most women just want to have the wedding. The wedding is a cool party, but the actual paper and all that stuff, again, they don't need your money. They don't need your security. And it has kind of lost in its importance. Of course, people still get married. People still have kids early, but in general, the concept has lost quite a bit of importance. And now women are liberated. So they're liberated economically, they're liberated sexually, they don't fear the judgment anymore as much, and they want to focus on themselves. A lot of times you meet women and they're going to tell you, oh, I'm just focusing on myself at the moment. And sometimes it's just a thing that they say, but sometimes they're actually true. They're focusing on their career, they're focusing on their hobbies, they're focusing on self-improvement, just like you are focusing on your self-improvement, they're focusing on their self-improvement. And back in the day, it would be crazy. Your number one priority would be to find a guy, to lock him down and to be safe. Nowadays, they want to focus on themselves. So when you go and you have this attitude of 30 years ago or 40 years ago, and you try to just lock her down, have 1 to 2 dates, and ask her to be your girlfriend and to move in with her and to do all that stuff, it's going to drive a lot of women away. You're going to push a lot of them away, and you're going to sabotage a lot of great potential relationships. So the new rule is, instead of focusing on the end result and locking them down, focus on connection and shared experiences. Go have great food, go travel together, go do all that crazy stuff, but don't push the label too fast. I'm not saying that you can't have a girlfriend or the classic relationship or get married, but you gotta establish a healthy ground first. You gotta have a really good connection first. You gotta do all those things first. Then, as things evolve, which nowadays they will evolve a bit slower, and you need to be okay with that, you can move into girlfriend zone, relationship zone, marriage zone, if that's what you both want. But just bear in mind, a lot of women nowadays, they want to take things slower, and don't scare them away. And then finally, the outdated strategy number 4 is the handkerchief strategy. So you probably all heard the story back in the day how women would let guys know that they were interested in them is they would walk past, they would drop the handkerchief, and then the guy would say, "Oh, miss, like you drop your handkerchief." He would go give the handkerchief to the girl. They would start talking, and this was basically a woman to give you an excuse for the guy to come and talk to her. A lot of guys, while they don't necessarily wait for women to drop their bag or handkerchief, they are still waiting for women to give them a signal. So they say things like, "Oh, well, establish eye contact first before going talking to the girl," or "wait for a signal. She will let you know if she's interested." Guys, this doesn't happen like that. Before, it was, first of all, it was just a culture thing, but also it was a lot less competition. This girl maybe had attention from 10 guys in her work or in her circle, or if you go way back, maybe she had 10 or 20 guys in her village, in her entire village. So of course she didn't have a lot of attention. Now, on the other hand, if you are a attractive girl, you have an Instagram or you have some sort of application, you go on Tinder, you are bombarded with attention. You're simply bombarded. It's hard to imagine us as guys, right? The attention that we get online or in real life. But if you talk to any attractive girl who also knows how to carry herself a little bit, it's crazy how much attention they get, both online and also in real life. Some women that I know that approach them in real life, and they've told me that they get constantly approached. Not in a good way, but still they get constantly approached. In one day, they might get approached 5 times, right? For some women that look good and they also project certain signals, these girls will not give you any signals. They don't need to give you any signals. They have so much attention validation that why would they give you any signal? If you wait for signals, what's going to happen is you're going to wait for a train that never comes. So you can't wait for them to drop the handkerchief or to give you the signal. The new rule is, don't wait for her to give you a signal. If you like a girl, go. If you see a girl that you like, go. Go talk to her. Don't wait to make an eye contact. Don't wait for the thing to be good. Don't hesitate. Just go and make it happen. That is the new rule. And if you're wondering how to actually do this when you go and talk to the girl without her dropping the handkerchief, then I have a great video on my channel that shows literally step by step how do you approach a girl and how do you initiate that conversation. And if you're interested to learn this, you can check out the link in the description.